Shalom, it's your brother Yonathan. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Alright, and that's the Father, Yahweh, who the world English calls God, Bahashem in the name, Yahushai, who the world English calls Jesus. He is the deliverer. That's what that name means. And you got to remember that the people of the Bible, they spoke Hebrew, Paleo Hebrew to be exact, the Lashon Kadash, the holy tongue. All right. Also, I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and real well. And I want to say shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity. All right. May the blessing of election be upon your house. Today, we're going to go over 3 reasons as to why color matters in regards to the Bible. All right. With no further ado, let's get started.
Book binding in Ethiopia. The cover, wooden board cover, as you see. Everything is made at home. So, this is 15th century manuscripts. Sometimes, it's amazing that, people in the 15th century, where they aware of color. All the saints, even the Virgin, is painted black. Today, you don't find such paintings in churches. Not always, a bright color, not black color. So it has to be studied very well. This type of documents. Look, even the evangelist. This is Matthew. And the harag or the decorations, all this, the binding.
All right, so ran that clip for you guys going into the 15th century Bible, right? And all the images and the characters within the Bible are depicted, and they look like me. They look like people that I come from. All right, quick intermission here. In Russia, a lot of their museums, especially in Moscow, they have a lot of those old images, those old paintings dating back to those times, and you'll find those images depict the people the exact same, looking like us. Okay, so it's a common theme here. So you've seen 2 examples. You've seen that old Ethiopian Bible depicting the saints to look like us. And then you go to Russia, there's a lot of images. If you have Instagram, there's a page called Real Bible History 144. He posts a lot of those images because the actual book called The Russian Icons is really hard to come by. So if you do have social media or anything like that, you can go to this page. And he posts a lot of images. Scroll down here of the Russian icons. So during that Renaissance period, meaning the rebirth, when the Edomites came back into power, because there was a 1,000-year gap in which we were ruling in Europe. But during that time, when the Renaissance period, they went around chopping the noses off of statues, repainting, making replicate paintings, or whitewashing the paintings themselves to look like Edomites. This is a part of their history. This is a part of the deception that they push and the changing of the actual history. So, it's a cool page to come look at and see a lot of these images, because like I said, that book, Russian Icons, is actually pretty tough to come by. No mistake, man. No mistake. Yeah, the information is there, man. If you just go look for it. Dig a little bit, you'll come across it. It's not hard at all. Not hard at all. Look at the texture even of their beards and their hair. That woolly hair, the same way the Lord was described in Revelation 1:13, with that woolly hair. There's only one people upon the earth that have hair like wool, that texture. Skin like bronze as if burned in a furnace. Right? So just a quick visual aid for you guys. But back to the lesson. All right. Why is that important? Because you have an entire nation of people, especially here in America, who line up with prophecy, who are prophesied in the Bible to be brought over here in slave ships. All right. It was a specific manner. in which it was prophesied for the so-called blacks to be brought over here, and the conditions that the so-called Latinos and Native Americans will be in as well. It's a certain depiction when you go to 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. It's a certain fashion in which they would come to this side of the world as well. It's all documented. It's all historically documented within our book, our family book. Now, you have an entire nation of people who have been traumatized, all right, by that voyage, by the captivity they were brought to, okay? Completely detached and separated from their culture and their heritage and who they are. Now, when someone is traumatized, part of the healing process is regaining their identity, finding their self-worth. Now, every other nation upon the planet, they have their culture, they have their history, okay, but ours has been stolen. We've been separated from it, and this was the first captivity in which we were completely separated from our heritage, who we were. And that was foretold to happen as well. You go to Jeremiah 17:4, and it says, the Lord told Jeremiah, "And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and shall serve thine enemies in a land which thou knowest not." So this is why, Vocab made that lesson a little while back, saying, oh, the Hebrew Israelite kryptonite. Well, the kryptonite for the apologists is prophecy. They can't go into it because they don't have the spirit of Yahushua. And like the scriptures say, the spirit of Yahushua, who the word English calls Jesus, is the spirit of prophecy. You see, healing trauma. I got this little article here from traumarecovery.ca, and it says, how long does it take to recover from a traumatic experience? And it says here, people affected by trauma tend to feel unsafe in their bodies. And right now, we have unsurety of that life. That too is written in the curses. All right. And in their relationships with others. So, our people are very insecure, which is why they cling on to carnality, and they perpetually seek status by having things. By they're willing to do anything to have some kind of status, to feel like they have some kind of worth. When the Lord tells us our worth, we're the princes of the power. But our people don't know that, right? Regaining sense of safety may take days to weeks with acutely traumatized individuals, or months to years with individuals who have experienced ongoing/chronic abuse. And our people have been under chronic abuse for hundreds of years. So how, it's divine intervention that the Lord is having this healing take place right now. It's important because this is reason number one. The healing of a people is going to be linked to them understanding that, this is the standard, and this is leading into point 2. This is the standard in which we're supposed to live by. This is our culture. This is who we are. This is the rich history that we have. This is where we find meaning and our importance. So we don't have to seek it from other nations, going whoring after the other gods by worshiping and keeping their ways. We have our own ways. We have our own customs and standards that we are to live by. 2, our people need to understand that they have a standard. And what Christianity has done is wiped away the importance of the family of the book, the family of the Bible, and says, oh no, you can do as thou wilt. You just have to love God. It's all love, love, love. All right? When the scriptures blatantly say, when you go to Matthew, the 5th chapter, 17 through 19, that the law isn't done away with. Until heaven and earth pass, not one jot or tittle shall in no wise pass from the law. Okay? And then I believe we go to Ecclesiastes. It says that the earth abideth forever, which is true. So, let me actually go get. Yep, Ecclesiastes 1:4. One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. All right? So, the law isn't done away with. When the kingdom of heaven is established here upon the earth, what's going to govern it? The laws. So, part 2, or reason 2, our people need that standard in order to walk uprightly. Black culture, which is what our people have now, is a death culture. There's no standard. There's no moral code. There's no place where it cannot be taken. Our people are set to do anything and whatever. All right, so there's no standard in which to live by. So there's no path to walk. It's a free for all. which leads to destruction. As you notice, the scriptures say, sin bringeth forth death. Okay? But I also want to add that this is not, in fact, a skin color thing. Because you got to remember that we were scattered into multiple captivities all over the earth. The scriptures and knowing who we are, what people we come from, and the images is simply a clue to be reeled back in. You see? But you're going to have Israelites that look like every nation under heaven. A prime example. A lot of Jakes, and I say Jakes, I'm talking about Israelites or so-called Black, Latino, Native American people, went to the Vietnam War. And a lot of those men had babies with women that were Vietnamese and left children behind. Now, the way the Bible or the Lord discerns lineage is by the seed. Now, the woman, she nurtures that seed. She's like the land. Okay, but if you have a handful of orange seeds, and I plant some orange seeds in Vietnam, I plant some here in America, I plant some, in Germany, right? Although those places are different lands, being the woman, the tree and the fruit that comes forth of these orange seeds that I planted are going to be oranges, regardless of the land. So in the physical, in the flesh, in the human body, you take features from both parents. And you may even, look more so like your mother. But at the end of the day, you are what your father is. And we know that pursuing the Numbers 1 and 18. That's why the scriptures always talk about men begatting other men. Okay? Because that's how a family line is continued. And that's why it was so important in ancient times for a man to have a son. You see? So, even the way they do lineage here is confusing. There's no such thing. And when you see it like that, and you understand how the Lord sees it, you understand there's no such thing as a mixed person, per se. You have people that have features from different people, but their lineage always goes back to a particular nation that the Lord has set up. Okay? So it goes back to the seed. So Israel, we've been scattered all over the earth, the diaspora. Okay? And you're going to have Israelites that look like other nations. It's just what it is. But at the end of the day, the bulk of our people are going to look like the so-called Black, Latino, and Native Americans, right? But I have to put that disclaimer out there because you have people who will try to categorize this as, black thing. We have brothers within our camps and our ranks that look like so-called Edomites, so-called white people. So, it's not a skin color thing. It's a bloodline thing. It's a lineage thing. Okay? And that's something that definitely has to be understood when you come into the Bible. But a lot of people, they hear about the Hebrew Israelites and they look at it as a black thing because they put that moniker upon us, Black Hebrew Israelites, when that's not so. All right, so this is our family book, which is written about us. All right, tracking a lineage all the way from Adam to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, a lineage is being tracked throughout the scriptures. Okay, so the first two, let's rehash the reason 1 and reason 2. The healing of our people. They need to know their identity in order to overcome the trauma that they went to. This is our actual therapy. Knowing our heritage. You see? Okay, reason 2. Once these people are healing from knowing their heritage, now they have that standard in which to live by. They're going to start to rehearse the righteous acts like it's talked about in Judges 5 and 11. Okay? And now you have the quality of life, the moral code, and society itself will begin to be lifted up, which leads us into reason 3. It's because of this higher way of living, this higher code of conduct, so to speak, is being acted out by the most influential people in the world. All right? Anything that Jacob does, the world soon follows after, which is why the wicked, whenever they want to push a vibration or an agenda, they take an Israelite, a so-called Black, Latino, Native American person, and they put them at the forefront of that movement because we're the most influential people, hands down, bar none. Now, reason 3 is the remnant or the elect of Israel rehearsing those righteous acts. When they're delivered and the Lord returns, this way that is being acted out, because for the elect, the laws are going to be written within our inward parts. We're going to be given new bodies, a new way of existing. And this nation, the nation of Israel, are going to be the people to govern the earth. That's the new world order that's actually going to be established. Not the one that the wicked are trying to set up. But upon this way being established in the earth is going to be refreshed and made new again. And like it says in Proverbs 29:2, when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. But when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. I'm paraphrasing. The righteous are going to be in authority upon the return of the Lord. And all the rest of the nations at the end of the day are going to be better for it. You know, obviously, of course, after they've served their punishment for, forwarding the demise of the Israelites, and that's written as well. But after that is taking place, after justice is being served, and this is the only way our people are ever going to get justice is upon the return of the Lord. The earth is going to be in better standing, so it's going to be beneficial to not just us, but to everyone at the end. Okay, so those are the three reasons: the healing of our people, the standard to live by, and essentially that lofty term that the wicked say that they're trying to achieve, which is world peace, is going to be established by the nation of Israel. All right, by the Lord's Son, Yahweh Shai, and He's going to set up that governing body, which is going to be the elect of our nation, and the righteous way is going to be pushed upon the earth, and everybody's going to benefit from it. Those are three reasons why color matters in regards to the Bible. All right, so with that being said, I'm going to give all praises once more to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And I want to say shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity. All right, may the blessing of election be upon your house. Shalom.